All right, so we've completed this method after singleton instantiated. So that means when Spring Boot is running up, this method is going to be called, right? And right now we need to test it. We need to look at it using a breakpoint to see if it can work properly. So I need to comment this line, this block of code. We need to comment it out. I don't want to start the Netty clients. I don't want to start the connection because we don't have a server yet. And now I need to manually give it a scanned package. Like we said, what is the package name that we defined here? Now we define the base package here, then we copy and paste it out here. So I manually give it a value. Okay, I manually create a string array and give it the scan path. And then when it started, we use this one scan package to start the scanning. And of course, we can't do this. We can't do this in the real development, right? And later on, we need to find a way to populate the value from the annotation into this class instance, the client ID and the scanned package. I do this now because I want to test. Okay, so I got this scanning package, and then I put a breakpoint here. Right. So when the Spring Boot, so we are now running a Spring Boot here. This is the service that we define. And since we put an annotation here, this annotation we customize. Enable RPC client is our own annotation. And in this annotation, we import the RPC client. So when Spring Boot started, the Spring Boot had a scanning logic, and they can find out, this logic can find out this import annotation. And then they can import this RPC client as a bin definition into the bin application. And then afterwards, this bin definition will be converted into a bin, a real bin instance. All right. So we can import any bin like this. Okay, so let's try. We're using a debug mode. All right, so now it started. Now, okay, so it stopped in the breakpoint here. So it means that this method it's called after all the singletons are ready. So all the singleton bins in Spring Boot, it's ready, and then Spring Boot will call these methods. This method it belongs to this interface. It's called Smart Initializing Singleton. So all the class that implemented this interface will be managed by Spring Boot, and Spring Boot will call this after singleton instantiated for every class as long as it implemented this interface. And right now, this RPC client implemented this interface, so this method is going to be called. And let's go. And now we have a scan package. So I manually give it a value, so we can, like the first scan package is the one that I give. This is the one. All right. This is the one This is the package I want to scan. So because now I'm running on this server, this service called Booking Service, and I define all the RPC service in this folder. And this service folder, they have they have a root, right? This is the root of the folder that I want to scan. And now go. Now, after this method is called, find candidate components, it's called. Theoretically, we can find out two classes. Okay, let's see. Now, two, right? So the one, it's the booking detail service IMPL. How about the other? The other, it's booking upload service IMPL. Yes, exactly. Okay. Now we successfully scanned two classes out, and they are already converted as a bin definition. So you don't need to worry about it. They're already bin definitions. So we iterate over the bin definition, this candidate components list. This is a set. So we iterate over this set, and then we process each component. Now let's go. Okay, so first we need to get the class object for each component. Now, because the bin definition, we can get the bin class name, and then we can use a reflection to get the class object. And right now, the next step is we need to identify which implementation it's the remote service. So which class is the implementation of the remote service? Because I said that this remote service is the interface we design, and then this interface is actually marking down which interface or which implementation can be used as RPC. So since this class, this booking details service IMPL is the implementation of the remote service, so I consider this class as the RPC class. And however, this booking upload service IMPL, it's not an implementation of the remote service. So it's not considered as an RPC service. So right now, the next step, we need to find out which one is the RPC service. So we need to find out which one is the subclass of the remote service, or which one is the implementation of the remote service. And now, right now, this class, it's okay, booking detail service. So it should be true, right? It should be true. Go. Yes, it's true. If that's true, we need to put this class into this list. This is a class list. We say RPC class list. Okay, so go. And how about the next one? The next one, it's not going to be a RPC service because it's not an implementation of the remote service. So this line is going to be false. So it's not going to be added into the class list. And then we next, ultimately, when this for loop, it's over, this class, this outer for loop, when it's over, this class list contains all the RPC services classes. Yeah. So the next step is we need to iterate over this class list. And for each class, we need to find out all the methods. Now, because let's go back here, I have two methods defined in this class, this RPC class. And only one of the method is a class RPC method, because I said that we use this mark as RPC annotation to mark down the RPC method, right? So only one method is going to be an RPC method. The other one is not. We are not exposed this method as RPC. So the next step, we need to identify which method is RPC method. Now let's keep going. Okay, so we get all the method out, and then we iterate all methods. Now, the first step is for each method, we need to see if it has the annotation called mark as RPC. If yes, then this method is going to be processed. Now, this method, what is the name of this method right now? It's, let's get the name. It's called get booking details by user ID. Get booking this should be, yes, this one is the RPC. So this line of code, it should be true. So let's go. Well, yeah, it's true. Then we encapsulate the metadata of the method, this declare method, into a class called RPC method descriptor. Like, let's go. Let's see if the MD instance contains all the metadata. Yes, method ID, class name, number of params, method name, everything, right? We encapsulate the important metadata into the RPC method descriptor already. And the last step is that we put in the two maps. We created two maps. Here, the method hash map and the class method maps. So now we put it in. We put it in, down. Let's see. Let's come back here. I believe that the map has already had the something in it already. So you can see here, they have right. This method hash map has one item, and this class method map has one item, which means we've successfully put the information into both maps.